drifting like a leaf, no plan in sight. Crying in the car in the middle of night, blaming the world for all your falls. But it's on you, it's all your cause. Schedules lost to the breezy wind, dreams are gone before they begin. Look at your life, it's all chaos. You missed the mark, you paid the cost.
Consistency, baby, that's the key. Hold the line and you will see. A rhythm strong won't let you fall. With every beat you'll stand tall.
Moving forward but you lost your way. No direction, just endless sway. Time is slipping and you're stuck without a plan, it's all bad luck. Writing a story with no page, no structure, just blind rage. Hold the pen, get back on track. Your future waits, don't turn back.
Consistency, baby, that's the key. Hold the line and you will see. A rhythm strong won't let you fall. With every beat you'll stand tall.
Schedules lost to the breezy wind, dreams are gone before they begin. Look at your life, it's all chaos. You missed the mark, you paid the cost.
Consistency, baby, that's the key. Hold the line and you will see. A rhythm strong won't let you fall. With every beat you'll stand tall. I'm moving.
People come and go like the wind on a chase, in and out of lives without leaving a trace. They think they're the stars, but no one sees the show. Inconsistent hearts can never make it grow. You say you're gonna stay, but then you disappear. Promises like shadows just fade into clear. You think the world revolves around your crooked song, but trust is like a fortress you keep doing wrong. Fix it, mend those broken lines. Stop the endless chatter, start reading between signs. You wanna be remembered, but you're just a blur. Inconsistent souls will never conquer. Building up the walls that you keep tearing down. Trying to paint smiles on a permanent frown. You gotta dig deep, find the roots in your down. Find the meaning inside before you burn out. Fix it, mend those broken lines. Stop the endless chatter, start reading between signs. You wanna be remembered, but you're just a blur. Inconsistent souls will never conquer. Look into the mirror, see who you've become. Change is just a heartbeat from a beating drum. Consistency is key to the trust you wanna grow. Find it in yourself and let your true self show. 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 Fix it, mend those broken lines. Stop the endless chatter, start reading between signs. You wanna be remembered, but you're just a blur. Inconsistent souls will never conquer. Fix it, mend those broken lines. Stop the endless chatter, start reading between signs. You wanna be remembered, but you're just a blur. Inconsistent souls will never conquer. Fix it, mend those broken lines. Stop the endless chatter, start reading between signs. You wanna be remembered, but you're just a blur. Inconsistent souls will never conquer. Fix it, mend those broken lines. Stop the endless chatter.
Coach Ralph, tough as nails, no disguise. Pushing limits, yeah, he's that kind of guy. At first it's harsh, the rules feel like chains, but trust the process, there's sunshine in the rains. He cracks the whip, but it's all in love. Results shining bright like stars above. Tech Coach Ralph, you light the way. Through sweat and tears, you help us play. With every lesson, we find our might. From morning grind to the stars at night. Days turn to weeks, skills sharp and fast. What once was a struggle now feels like a blast. Step by step, we rise and we glow. With Ralph in our corner, we're ready to show. Singing his praises, can't keep it inside. From hard ass to hero, he's our pride. Tech Coach Ralph, you light the way. Through sweat and tears, you help us play. With every lesson, we find our might. From morning grind to the stars at night. So here's to Ralph, the coach we need in this game of growth. He plants the seed. So here's to Ralph, the coach we need in this game of growth. He plants the seed.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. How is everyone doing today? How are you guys doing? Today is Tuesday, December 10th, 2024. 21 days left in the month of December in the year of 2024. We're almost there. We are almost there. Are you excited to end out 2024 and get into 2025? Or do you fear 2025? And did you have a miserable 2024?
Bruh.
Well, today's a new day. Tomorrow's a new day. And we can turn whatever went wrong in 2024 around in 2025. And we can make whatever went right in 2024 even better in 2025. Welcome to the Tech Q&A show with Tech Coach Ralph. We are engineered to win. All right, we're going to get into it today. A lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of things to share, a lot of good stuff happening. So happy to have you all here tonight. We are going to get it in. You know what? Because my friend, my brother, my family, your car, it's always in here. The first one in here, always so early. So I just got to say a big shout out to, by the way, he sees everything. Says, Ralph, change the time. Okay, I got you. So I'm going to say to the lawyer, Mr. Technique in the building, AKA my guy, your car. What up, your car? How are you doing? Hopefully you're having an amazing day. I always got to give a shout out to my guy, your car, you know. All right, so let's get into our agenda for today. But you know what? Actually, no, stop that. Scratch that. Before I do that, I have a question real quick. Your car, because we've been talking about this. Let me know, which one do you like better? You like this view better, or do you like this scene better, or do you like, let me see. Do you like this one better? Let me know, because this, it's squared all right and everything like that. I'm not cut off and stuff. So is it like this one, or would it be like this one? Let me know, and then we'll figure that out. But I just had to know, and then as more people come in, I'll go back and forth. I'll ask and everything like that. But I'm just curious. I don't know. I'm still leaning towards this one, but I do like the other one. I do like the other one a lot more now that I can actually fit into the screen. All right. So, anyway, all right. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you to all of the subscribers on the channel. We are growing rapidly. I am just so happy. My number one goal is to add value to you, whether it's through answering your questions, whether it's through exploring different softwares, whether we're building our urban dictionary of economic data, or whether we're doing QA, whether we're doing DevOps, whether we're doing mobile app building, whether we're doing cybersecurity. Whatever it is, I just want to add value. I want you to see the way that my mind works, the way that I think, the way that I work through it, the way that I have fun, the way that I gamify everything that I do. So if I'm able to add that value to you, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for all your likes. I really, really appreciate you all.
I appreciate you.
And I always have to give a big shout out and salute to all of my tech savages out there. Starting with my Patreon members, the Tech Barbarians, the Tech Prodigy members, and the Technical Explorers. Shout out to you guys. My next Patreon video is going to be, well, outside of the sprint reviews and the full Scrum nights, but it's going to be how I use AI in my different workflows, but especially in my content creation. All the ways that I use AI, all the tools that I'm using, and even like in coaching, all the my AI assistant to take the notes from my meetings, all that. I'm going to be creating a video about that. And I thought about it today because I'm going to be off of the day job during the Christmas break. I'm going to be going live during one of those days in the Patreon, updating my resume. So if you have any questions, if you want to see my resume, I'm going to be making it more concise, getting more straight to the point, but always adding value. So check it out, techcoachdrive.dev. It's going to be between the 23rd, it's going to be a date between the 23rd and probably between December 31st, because I want to get it done before the new year, right? So definitely look out for that. I want to give a big shout out as well to my YouTube members, my tech mercenaries out there, those who keep the channel running. I really appreciate you.
Let's get it.
And always, I can never, ever forget, shout out to the bag chasers out there.
Money.
We had a great time on Saturday evening talking about stocks. So, shout out to my guy, The Wealth Building Journey. Shout out to Yakar for hosting that, and we ran it up. So that was a really good thing inside of the Bag Chasers Discord. So a lot of things happening. We just making it happen. We are just making it happen. I am everywhere, right? And I have another announcement that I'm going to make after I get through our intro, our little housekeeping real quick. We're not going to spend too much time on the housekeeping. So let's move on. I want to say, I'm just going to touch on our next two live shows that are coming up. We're going to be going live tomorrow for Coffee and Kata, where we're going to be reviewing some news articles, and we're going to be working on our mobile development. The latest news articles, the latest news stories, we're going to be talking about that tomorrow morning, and then we're going to continue working on testing our mobile app. And then on Thursday night, we're going to get back into our software exploration. We're going to continue building out our urban dictionary of economic data. Here is an announcement. Next year, early next year, probably sometime early January, on most likely Thursday nights, we're going to be pivoting to learning more about penetration testing. I already signed up for the course. I will let you know which course that is that I'm going to be going through later on this month, so that if you want to follow along with me as I learn penetration testing on the channel, pretty much doing the projects in the course, then tune in, and we're going to have a lot of fun. I really want to learn more about penetration testing because there are so many different opportunities in penetration testing. All right. Being an ethical, keyword always keyword ethical hacker, okay? And so that's our next two live shows, tomorrow morning and Thursday night. And then we have tomorrow we're going to be releasing the software explorations on, believe it or not, penetration testing on being an ethical hacker. Is it for you? Are you ethical enough to become an ethical hacker? Did you ever think about it that way, huh? Do you have the right ethics to be an ethical hacker? Is a career in cybersecurity for you? Are you interested in catch the flags and bug bounties, all that good stuff? If so, you definitely want to tune in tomorrow for the presentation on ethical hacking, which is going to lead us into next year as we continue to learn more, build out our skill set. Because I believe that going through this ethical hacking course and learning how to do ethical hacking is going to make all of our skills all around in tech, but especially in quality assurance, even stronger. Right. So tune in tomorrow. Remember, yesterday we had a really, really good candid conversation. It was about consistency. What? Yes, consistency, and why that is your biggest enemy. But I extended an olive branch for you to how you can get around your lack of consistency, or as we can say, your inconsistency, your biggest downfall. So if you haven't watched it yet, you definitely want to watch the one from yesterday. It was really, really good. All right. So with that being said, if you found value in any of the things that I mentioned from the next 2 live shows, from going into doing ethical hacking next year, if you're interested in cybersecurity, penetration testing, and learning more about it tomorrow, then do me a big favor, because I do not want you to miss out. I do not want you to miss out. I want you to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share the video with somebody who you think would find it useful. And then, of course, you got to hit the notification bell, because how are you going to know when all this amazing content comes out? How are you going to know when all this amazing content comes out? So that's why you have to subscribe to the channel, and not only subscribe, but hit the notification bell. Hit the notification bell. Hit the notification bell. All right. So those are our announcements for today, for tonight, before we get into our show. So let me check what your car said real quick, because he gave me some feedback. He says that, he says, I like both. I like the graphics when you are coding. I like the larger display and no graphics when you are not coding. Well, that settles it. That settles it. That is what it is going to be. When we code, we get the graphics. When we are just talking on breaks and stuff like that, or on this show, then we will not have the graphics. We're just going to be full screen, you and I having a conversation one-on-one. Thank you, your car. I really appreciate the feedback, as always. And your car says, let's go to Hawaii for the end of the year. No. I am not gonna go to Hawaii. You know, one of the reasons I don't like to travel is because the people that I live with, they travel very, very heavy. All right, and it is a hassle for me to travel, because when I'm traveling, I have to be aware of everything, and I'm like, all right, what's good? Everybody got their stuff. I'm like, that's why I just rather stay home. I would rather, as my best friend Mitch says, I would rather be a porch cat. All right. And oh my goodness. Stop the show. Is it who I think it is? Is it who I think it is in the building? It is me, Mysify, in the building. For real, long time no see. How have you been? How was your trip to Vegas? Did you have a good time? Are you back in Detroit? How's everything going? Like, how are the cars? I guess you can't really work too much right now on the cars because it is freezing up there in Detroit. But so happy to have you back. Oh my goodness, so happy to see you. Hopefully everything went well. Let's see. It says, your car says, next year, you, me, the family, Mitch, we going to Hawaii for spring break. No excuses. Okay, yeah, you got it. I'll be there. I will be there, your car. You got it. I will be there, right? All right. So I have another announcement to make, because my friend, let's go with this. All right, my friend that I used to work with, a former coworker, I used to work with we're in 2024, about 10 years ago, and when we were in QA together, and they just started a podcast. And the first episode is dropping tomorrow. Yes, it's called the Engineering Quality Podcast. We're going to listen to the trailer, the introduction together, and then tomorrow, once it drops, it'll drop like as my show is ending in the morning. We're going to listen to like first 2 or 3 minutes of the show tomorrow, but then you got to go and check it out on Spotify. I'm going to drop the link in Spotify right now, but please go follow my friend's podcast. It's her and two other friends of hers, my friend Royally, and she will be on this channel at some point to promote her podcast and give us all the details of where it came from, the ideas, and hopefully I can make it over to theirs as well. So I'm gonna drop the link right there for their podcast. I know it's on. She told me it's on Apple or on the what is it? Wherever Apple has their podcast, and it's on Amazon and it's on Spotify, but I have the Spotify one right now. So I'm just dropping that for whoever wants to subscribe, definitely, or to follow them, definitely check it out. But we're going to listen to it together real quick because I listened to the first 30 seconds, but I'm like, you know what? We'll listen to it on air together. So let's get to it. All right. So this is the engineering podcast or engineering quality podcast, right? We're just going to listen to that and see what they're going to be talking about. I am excited to tune into this, because I'm always supporting my friends when they're doing great things. All right, so let's give it a listen.
Hi everyone, welcome to Engineering Quality. My name is Ali, and I'm here with my wonderful co-hosts Royally and Veronica. On our podcast, we are excited to dive into the world of software engineering, quality assurance, and everything in between.
Hi, listeners. I'm Royally, and on this podcast, we'll be talking about all things related to software testing and quality. So whether it's automated testing, continuous delivery, or how to improve processes, we'll cover it all. But it's not just about bugs and testing. It's about how we can build better products and improve software development from start to finish.
Hi everyone, I'm Veronica. Each of us come from different backgrounds, so you will hear unique perspective from our own experiences. Whether it's e-commerce, tech, or education, we have all seen different challenges, and we will be sharing practical tips to help you in your day-to-day work.
And here's the best part. This podcast isn't just for testers. Whether you're a developer, a product manager, or just someone interested in tech, you'll find something valuable. Because quality is really everyone's responsibility, and we are here to talk about how it fits into the entire software development process.
We'll also be bringing in industry experts, exploring the latest trends like AI in testing, and answering questions from listeners. It's going to be full of real-world insights, tips, and maybe even some fun stories from the trenches.
So, if you want to learn more about engineering quality, hear different perspectives, or just get some practical advice, this podcast is for you. We are here to help you take your software quality to the next level.
And we've got a lot of exciting topics lined up, and we can't wait to share them with you.
And remember, we'd love to hear from you too. So if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, feel free to reach out to us. We're here to learn and grow together. So you can find us on Instagram at engineeringquality_podcast. You can find us on X, formerly Twitter, at engineeringqual. That's engineering QUAL. And of course, I'm Royally, we have Ali, we have Veronica. So search us on LinkedIn. We'd love to connect with you.
Yes, stay tuned and let's build better software one episode at a time.
And there you have it. That is the intro for the Engineering Quality Podcast with my friend Royally and her two friends, Alejandra and Veronica. All right, so I'm definitely going to be tuning in tomorrow for the first episode drop. We're gonna listen to the first few minutes after the morning show, and then we are going to. But definitely want to tune in. All right, so follow them. It's going to be great information, and you might catch me on there one day. All right, so that being said, we're gonna get started with a little bit of an icebreaker real quick. All right. Let me check the chat real quick, and then we're gonna get started with our icebreaker. Let me see. My all right, hold on. Your car says, let me move this out of the way. Your car says, don't lie to me, right? That was so condescending. What? Oh my goodness. The accusations. I am appalled. Oh my goodness. And me, myself, says, I'm back in Detroit. I extended my trip for another week. My next few videos document my trip, why I extended it, and the large amount of money I spent while I was over there.
Thank you for your patronage.
I hear you. And the trip was good. Awesome. It says, sounds like Islander and Indian lady. Roy Lee is from Jamaica. Yeah. And they have their pictures on the. You see, you gotta follow the podcast. They have their pictures on there, so you can see. All right. It says, I seen the video about you. Wow. About me, or about me, myself? I don't know. All right. Anyways, we're gonna get a quick little icebreaker up and running because here's the thing, right? So you guys all know about the United Healthcare CEO who was murdered in, I guess it was in broad daylight because it was 6 a.m. in New York, but in Manhattan. Imagine that, a murder right in the middle of Manhattan. But now I wonder now, what do you guys think about what happened here? Right? Give me a second. Let's go to. So, what do you think about this? What do you think about this now? Is this okay? Because, hey, there were people who were advocating saying, oh, it's because of because the healthcare system is so mean and how many people die because of the insurance companies. Well, I mean, I don't think people actually die because of the insurance companies, but that's a whole nother story. We're gonna talk about that on Saturday, all right? But is this okay? So this, before we even watch, right? Or let's watch this, and then we'll read the details, right? So is this? Let me know if people can say that the CEO of the United Healthcare, it's okay. They feel joy that he got gunned down in the street, right? A husband and a father, right? Is this okay now?
Shit! I wasn't, huh? I told you motherfuckers.
Whoa! Whoa, shit.
Call the cops!
So, this says, Utah man drives his car through the front of a Mazda dealership just hours after purchasing the car from the same dealership. The incident happened in Sandy, Utah, after the man was told he couldn't return the car. The man told the dealership that he would drive the car through the front door of the dealership if he didn't let him return it. They told him it was sold as is. The man did exactly what he promised and drove the car through the front door. He was arrested on charges of felony criminal mischief and reckless endangerment. I would tack on attempted murder, because somebody could have been sitting up there and they could have died. Just give him the same charges that they gave the guy that they tried to convict the guy in New York of. So yeah, is that okay? You're right. He is not a liar, Yakar. He is not a liar. But because if people are justifying the CEO of the big bad evil company, insurance company, being gunned down, then I guess this is okay as well. That because you agreed to buying a vehicle, and after you drove it off the lot, you're like, well, I don't want it anymore. Oh, you had second thoughts, and they're like, well, we can't take it. We'll buy it back from you for half the price we sold it to you for. Now it's like, well, in that case, I'm just gonna drive right through the car dealership and call it a day. I mean, do you guys think that's okay? So, it's weird. It is weird the way that people. The logic that people have when they are justifying. Here's a question. and we should probably just talk about this on Saturday, but if you somehow made it, would you want people praising and celebrating your death? So anyways, whatever. I don't get it, but it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. Anyways, let's get started with the show. Let's get started with our questions for tonight. Car said he's not a liar. That is true. He is not a liar. All right. Let's get into our first question of the night. Do me a favor though, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time that we go live and drop new content. All right. We are getting into our questions for tonight. Our very first question of tonight. This is the second week of Q&A in December. We're in December, yeah. So let's get to it.
Another one.
So this question came from a candid conversation. I think the one that I did last week about will the QA industry survive in 2025? That was a very tough video, but somebody found value in it. They asked me a question though. They said, so this is what they said. I'm a recent manual QA boot camper, right? What are your suggestions for me to learn the CI/CD pipeline and every other technology you've touched on so I can become very valuable to a company soon? So first and foremost, shout out to you for asking an amazing question. You know that my number one goal is to always find a way to add value, all right? Nothing else. How do I add value? That's the goal, okay? Now, I responded to the comment, but I also wanted to touch on it here on the live stream. Let me start the timer, right? Let me start the timer. So you definitely have the right mindset of looking to add value, but here's the thing. Doing it, like trying to do it on your own, it's going to be a bit tough because you don't know what you don't know. And my biggest gripe that I always have, like the video that I have on my channel that I did maybe 2 months ago about the like why boot camps are pretty much a scam, is they're not gonna go into this stuff. This is what the boot camps do, right? They teach you like the very 1980s principles of software testing, and then they give you this fake internship where you get some website that nobody uses and you have to go and test that, right? So a couple of things my very first recommendation, because this is the easiest thing that you can do to get started to start adding more value, is you can start learning automation testing. Now that same bootcamp probably tell you know what, for another $5,000-$6,000, we will teach you how to do automation testing. We're going to have you learn it through Python and everything like that. And then it's, you can also go at your own pace. A year or two later, you still haven't gotten a job and you barely know how to do any Python. What I say to do is go and get, you can go and get online and get a course, right, to learn how to do automation testing. Whether you're learning it through Java, or you're learning it through JavaScript, whether you're learning it through Python, the key is to learn the principles of automation testing. Okay. Once you, and that's the easiest thing that you can do. Like, is it easy to learn how to code? No. But to become a more valuable QA, your number one step is to start learning how to do automation testing. The CI/CD pipeline is going to take some time and some effort because you're going to have to learn a tool like Jenkins. There's many other CI/CD tools out there, but Jenkins is probably the easiest one to get installed and go from there, right? On this channel, like maybe 3 months ago, time flies. I really don't know if you know how long ago it was, but we installed Jenkins via Docker, and we set up Playwright. We set up a pipeline for a Playwright test that we wrote to run through there, right? So we show how to do it here. The issue that anyone who is looking to get into this is going to have is the lack of guidance. So if you try to do it on your own, it's going to be hard. And like I spoke about yesterday, if you have issues with consistency, then you're going to struggle making it. What I recommend is, like, if you can, get a coach, get a mentor who is going to work one-on-one with you, who's going to make sure you're going in the right direction, who's going to tell you what's like where to go next, right? If you can. The other thing that you can do, which I also suggested, is find somebody who is either a software developer or they're learning how to do software development and they are building something. And now you offer and you volunteer to be their QA engineer, right? Where now you get to go through the manual testing protocols that you learned in your boot camp, but you also get to start automating their application, whether it's if they have a website or they're building a mobile app or whatever. You learn how to automate that, and then you're naturally going to, and then you can suggest them like, okay, how about we Dockerize the application, and then you can also use Docker to install Jenkins and set up your pipeline. There's going to be a lot of Googling that needs to be done. Some people will use ChatGPT. I'm not a fan of using ChatGPT for those type of things. Why is that? Because I like to research the things that are critical to my development, that are important to me becoming better at my craft. If I can just ChatGPT the things that are important, like that, like if I need to know how to code something, I just ChatGPT it. ChatGPT is giving me the answer instead of actually teaching me how to do it, which that's going to hinder your development. So a lot of Googling, a lot of figuring out, like, you're going to run into a lot of issues. And that is the number one reason that we have this channel here. So you can see all the issues that I run into and how I figure it out. It might take us a few weeks, but we figure it out, and that is why I really enjoy doing the work that we do here. So learn automation. Find somebody who is building something and offer to do their QA and work together. And then you can even implement like either a Trello board or you can implement a Jira board so you guys can track your progress, either whether you're doing Kanban or Agile, however you guys want to do it. But it is important. It is important to get the reps in and actually add value. And those are the ways you're going to add value. How to learn it. It's going to be hard, especially if you're trying to do it on your own, but it is not impossible. Are you going to get a job as a manual QA person after the boot camp? 90% chance that you're not. Might be 99% chance as a manual QA. But as you start learning automation, as you start learning the CI/CD pipeline, your chances go up from 99% chance of not getting it to now you're about a 50% chance, maybe, so you gotta work the system. You gotta work the system. All right. That is that one for today. That is our first question. Let's wrap it up. Alrighty then. All right. Oh my goodness. I can't do this. I cannot do this tonight. We got my guy in the building. My brother, Tech Bag Trey. What's up, Tech Bag Trey? My guy, Trey. I'll tell you this, though. Like, Trey is my motivation for the hats. He doesn't know this, but we are always competing on our hat game. So shout out to my guy, Trey. Shout out to my guy, Trey.
Let's get it.
Always a pleasure. And he says, with all due respect, and you guys know, once you say with all due respect, you can say whatever you want after that, and it's not going to be, and they can't take offense. So just remember that as long as you say with all due respect, whatever comes after, it is what it is. What's up, Trey? So happy to have you here. All right, we are going to jump into our next question. I had no clue about that. Oh my goodness. Oh man, Trey's hat game is on point. That wolf hat that he has, that's a nice hat. I love that hat. I really love that hat. All right, let's get to our next question. Because I can go on about hats for the rest of the night. But that is not what we're here for. That is not what we're here for, all right? Let's get to our next question of the night.
Another one.
What are some good projects to build/perform for my resume? All right, so let's see what this question is all about. So Can you tell me good projects to build slash perform to put on my resume? I am a fresher. So what is a fresher? So I've learned that a lot of people in India use the term fresher. It pretty much means they're a newbie, they're a noob in the QA game or whatever, whether they're a noob in whatever they're getting into, right? So they're a fresher, okay? So I just completed a course in testing. All right, shout out to you. We learned a lot of things starting from manual testing to mobile testing and API testing using Postman. My main interests are manual and automation testing using both Selenium WebDriver with Java and Appium for Android testing and maybe API testing with Postman. Is there anyone here who does it? I do it. If yes, can you tell me a good project idea that I can do by myself that'll help me solidify the concepts that I learned and look impressive in the interview? What did you make to capture your interviewer's attention? Okay. That is a great question. That is a great question. So let's get to it. Let me start a timer on that one. All right, so I'll start with the last thing. What did you make to capture your interviewer's attention? So when I made this, I was not a fresher, but I'll share this anyways with you. I was working at a company where we had a large suite for API tests, and it was one of the issues is test data in QA. And I used to do it like what we call a data provider in TestNG, which is the testing framework for Java. And I would use an Excel spreadsheet that was part of the project to be able to load the data. But every time you wanted to add new data, you wanted to change data, whatever, you would have to commit that Excel file to the project, and from there. So what I ended up doing was I integrated with Google's API to connect to a Google Sheet, and then I used the Google Sheet as a data provider. So all the data was hosted externally on a Google Sheet, and it would read from that. So all I needed was the credentials from Google to be able to read the sheet. And then I was putting in all the data so I can always add new lines of data. I can remove lines. I can modify the existing data, and I wouldn't have to go and update the project every time I had to do that. So that right there. So when I was in my interview, and I shared that I did that, it was like, oh wow, I never heard of that. I didn't know you could do that. I'm like, yeah, it's possible. And then we spoke about that. So that was something that I did to capture the interviewer's attention. Now, what can you do? What can you do so that you can try to capture the attention? Well, see, that's the thing. As a fresher, it's hard to, because like you'd have to do something that is going to make somebody say wow. And part of the issue is that you do not have because what anybody can do is they can just go to Amazon, or like we've done it on this channel before last year, adding a product to the cart for Amazon or DoorDash or Uber Eats, or I think Uber Eats was one of the first ones that we did. But I mean, anybody, that's just writing basic automation. What I would say that you could do, right? Because you said that you're interested in Appium, because if you can do Appium, you can definitely do Selenium WebDriver. What my suggestion would be is go sign up for AWS for an AWS account, right? And automate using Appium, going to and connecting to a device in like an actual mobile device, and automating through there, right? And so now you're practicing mobile automation. You're practicing work using the AWS cloud. You're practicing using real devices. You're automating going through a real website or even an application. Maybe you can even install some basic application on a AWS device farm, right? Device, and then you automate that. I think if you were to do that, that would be a little bit of an eye opener. Like, oh wow, that's pretty impressive that you as a fresher, like being able to go and do that type of work through Appium. And here's the thing. When you are in the interview, you have, and you're describing what you did, you're using terms like, oh, AWS, you're using terms like device farm, you're using terms like Appium, all of those things. And then, and you're explaining what you did, why you did it, and that is what is going to be the eye opener. Like, oh, wow, like, okay, this, like, because a lot of times, especially as a fresher, as a noob, you don't really have too much to offer, but what they're looking for is, what is this person's work ethic like? Do they have potential? What can we do, right? And are they willing to learn? So that is so that's the key to being able to wow them, because you don't have the experience, but you can have the mindset and the heart. And if you're using Appium for Android testing or for iOS testing, it's going to work. It's going to work on the device farm. You're going to be using Java most likely. You could use Python as well, but you're going to be using Java if you're already learning Java. For API testing, you can create some API. API testing is not like 10 years ago, 12 years ago. API testing was impressive. Now, no one cares, right? API, like knowing how to test and use APIs, that's standard. That's I remember like when I was looking for a job like 12 years ago, and everything was about, do you know API testing? Do you know API testing? Do you know API testing? Now it's like they don't even ask. Like it is an expectation that you know API testing. But if you can do some automation with Appium, connecting to AWS and connecting to their devices over there, knowing how to connect to the region, creating your key, and we have done it on this channel before. Last year we did it on this channel. So you definitely want to check that out. All right, let's wrap that question up. All right, let me check the chat real quick. I see my guy in the building. What's going on, Don? All right, let me just say hello to Don real quick. What's up, my guy, Don? My brother, Don. Don, your car is trying to get us to go to Hawaii. I'm like, I said, sure, I'll be there. He doesn't believe me though. He does not believe me. Your car says, respect never comes after the phrase, with all due respect. Your car says, build an app. All your car ever wants to do is build an app. It's like, hey, your car, how's the day going? Build an app. Hey, your car, what'd you have for lunch today? Build an app. I'm like, all right. But in this case, I don't know, like for a fresher in QA, I don't really see them building an app, but if they can, that would be cool. It says, let's see, your car says that my hat is such a lie.
How dare you?
Your car, how could you? How could you say such a thing? How could you say such? I am a party animal. It says the last party Ralph went to was his kids. I did? I was there. Don says, I once wrote a TCP socket in a game engine that could remove the game controls and have full control over all the scene assets. If it was a web view, I could inject into the view. See? Don is trying to penetrate your firewall. You got to be careful with Don. Don says, crazy work. Get me on your team, bro. Says, that's me. Build an app we can sell. It didn't show up. Your car says, that's me. Build an app we can sell that. Your car. Funny enough, that's it. My friend who's starting the podcast, Royally, she also sent me an app that her husband built, where it's actually a pretty cool app, where it tracks the maintenance that you need to do for like your house and stuff like that. So you can say like, oh, you add a task. We'll review it. Probably we'll review it. Maybe you can review it on Thursday's show. But it's a pretty cool app. I'll show it where you can actually but you pretty much say, okay, I need to change my air filter every 30 days, and you add that. So then I guess in 30 days going to remind you check whatever else you got to do, like your gutters or something like that. But it's pretty cool. And yeah, so we'll definitely check that out. But it's really cool. He has it in both app stores as well. So and he used Flutter to do it. So He knows the pain that I go through. Nobody knows the troubles I see. All right. Anyways, let's get to our next question. Do me a favor though, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time that we go live and drop new content. All right. With that being said, let's get to our next question of the night.
Another one.
The reason transitioning careers is so damn challenging. I'm in a bind, Nate. I'm trying to transition careers, but I have so much trouble. So this one comes also from a comment that I had on the video that I did for cryptology, for being a cryptographer or a cryptologist. And so the person said the entry-level pay is disappointing, right? And the entry-level pay was like 70 to like 90,000, I believe it was, something in that range. So this person says the entry level pay of 70 to 90,000 was so disappointing. I make I make more than $100,000 in a union aerospace shop. Shout out to you. It will be tough to take that kind of pay cut. Obviously, those are averages and there are exceptions to the rule. All right, so to me, that's one of the biggest challenges to transitioning, especially if you made it to the top of another career field, but you're like, I don't want to be in this field anymore. I want to go somewhere else. Let me start the timer. So the biggest problem is you might have to take a pay cut. And a lot of people, as we all know, that Mitch would say, some people can't afford to take a pay cut. And that I totally agree with. However, because we get into that situation where we're kind of trapped on the lifestyle that we live versus the career that we want to be in. And now, let's say this is a situation, right? And I had somebody that I was speaking to, I was communicating with, an amazing nurse. But they wanted to transfer into tech. I forgot which role. I think it was like it was something like solutions engineering, right? And they wanted to transfer into tech, but they were making about 100K, if not more, as a nurse. But they felt that they reached their ceiling as a nurse, right? And they wanted to, but they got offered a position where they would be traveling throughout the state, going here, going there, doing whatever they would be doing as in their role, like pretty much like being kind of like a regional manager. But the pay was about $20,000 to $25,000 less than they were making, right? And they really wanted to accept the job. They were trying to negotiate to get closer to what they were currently making, but they couldn't get it there and they had to turn it down. But here's the thing. Getting a entry-level role in tech can possibly lead you to who knows how much money. Especially for those type of sales jobs and the sales engineering, where there's a commission involved, there's, whining and dining people, moving around and stuff like that. That entry-level pay, it looks like a little bit, but as you progress and grow, it can become a good amount, and you build experience so that you can, jump to different places. I would assume, I don't know this for sure, but I would assume that working in the healthcare industry, you don't get that big of pay raises, right? So let's say you are working at this one hospital or clinic or whatever, and you want to go to another hospital. It's not like they're going to be competing for you. You might get a signing bonus if it's a hiring issues that are happening, but it's not like you're going to get, like, if let's say you're making like $25 at one hospital, it's not like they're going to offer you $40 in the next hospital unless you're getting a higher position. In tech, the way that you get raises is technically by jumping around, right? Get up and get down, jump around, right? So, but being unable to take that step backwards to then skyrocket forward is what I believe is the biggest the biggest challenge in transitioning to a new career field. You know, because a lot of times, a company will pay for you to learn, but then are you going to be able to transition into that role and make the same amount that you're making? So it's a catch-22. It is a catch-22, to be honest with you. All right. But one thing that I do suggest to everybody who wants to transition, if you are able to, do the transition, because you can grow from there, and if you have to, maybe you have to like take some type of a second job, second income. You might have to take a second job, second income, so that you can make but in the long run, it should pay out to your best interests, right? So it's a challenge. It is a challenge. You have to balance it. But yeah, that is that question. Curious to hear your thoughts on that. I know, like Mitch always says, some people can't do it. I understand, but if you can't do it, you might end up being trapped exactly where you're at for the rest of your life. And there's a reason that you want to transition in the first place, right? If you didn't like it, then why would you want to transition? So how do you balance that? How do you balance that? People like my guy Telltale Walk, because they're so young, they have the opportunity to be able to move around and stuff like that. But as we get older, it gets a lot harder to just be able to transition to other fields and stuff like that. All right. So that is that. Let me know your thoughts on that one. Let me know your thoughts on that one. Let's wrap that one up. All right. There is some craziness going on in the chat right now. My goodness, I can't. We got my guy Acosta ETF in the building with the $100 super chat. Oh my God.
Money.
You are awesome. You like Acosta ETF. He does a lot of work, a lot of coaching, a lot of videos, like with Linux and stuff like that. One of my favorite people to watch. I truly appreciate you, and a fellow bag chaser. Shout out to the bag chasers.
Money.
Thank you so much. And he says, thank you for being an asset to the tech community. You know what? No. Thank you as well, because you are an asset and you are an inspiration as well. All right.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate it. And we got Telltale Walk in the building. Says, what's going on? What's going on with you? Hopefully you're having an amazing week. And Don says, rooted in a house / kids. Telltale says, have an interview tomorrow for a help desk contract. Looks like a slam dunk. Let's get it.
Best. Let's get it. Go
out there and crush it. All right. Go out there and crush it. Don says he loves Linux. And yep, you do guys is aiming for this to be the last contract, then go full time. Let's go. You got it. And because I know a little bit about this is a long contract. So during that contract, you have to remember what I told you, right? All that other stuff, you got to put it aside. You have to focus, and you have to go out there and crush it, because you have to be focused, all right? Telltale, stop spending too much time. Stop spending 24/7 doing other stuff. 24/7 learning your cloud engineering, learning your Python, and because the sky's the limit. You're very, very young. The sky's the limit to you. All right. Shout out to you. And we got my bestie in here. We got my bestie in here saying it's trash. It is dry in here. Shout out to my guy Mitch. It says, I didn't read your message about that. All right, let me go back to the app. Oh, okay, my bad. All right, I'm sorry. I got distracted by Acosta. He just showered me with some love. I was like, oh my God, I missed everything. Yakar says he should try to partner with a company like Nest and integrate that into their systems. Oh yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. That's a good point. Licensing deals mailbox millions. That is a good point. That is good. Oh, you know what? I'm just send the message right now. Let me dropping this note because I don't want to forget this. All right. All right, cool. I sent that out there. Thank you for calling that to my attention, your car. All right. Let's get. Oh. Oh my goodness. You late and we getting money over here. It says the money distract. I'm not proud of it. I am not proud of it. Your car, you know.
I'm a knucklehead at times.
I'm a knucklehead at times, all right? All right. Your car is such a bad influence. You know what? Wait till next week where that wait till next week. Oh my god, I can't do this. All right, I can't do this. I cannot do this. I have to put you to the side, your car. It says, here's another distraction. Let's get this tech bag. Oh my god.
Money.
You guys are too much. You guys. All right. That's enough. That's enough, Akasi. That's enough. That's enough. And you see that your car. Now you see how the servers feel. You know what? Because of that, your car. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. All right. We're gonna do this. Let me see. We gotta do this. We gotta do this. All right. We have to take a break. We have to take a break right real quick, and we gotta do this.
Back from the streets, now I'm coding all night. They look at me like a fool, it don't feel right. Boot camps try to shackle, but I broke every chain. Got my eyes on the prize, ain't no stopping my reign. Used to run blocks, now I'm running these scripts. Look at them sweat, while my hustle just grips. No room for cowards in this digital climb. I'm the king of this jungle, it's my coding time. King of the code, I wear the crown. Gonna run this game, run them all down. From the concrete to the tech throne, I'll dominate this world, gonna make it my own. Show them who's boss from zero to hero. Turn every line to gold, they ain't keeping it real though. I elevate the game while they stuck in a glitch. Watch me rise to the top, counting every pitch. Crack the code like I cracked the streets. From back alleys to Silicon Elite. You thought you knew, but you don't know yet. I'll bring the heat, ain't seen nothing yet. King of the code, I wear the crown. Gonna run this game, run them all down. From the concrete to the tech throne, I'll dominate this world, gonna make it my own. From the concrete to the tech throne, I'll dominate this world, gonna make it my own. Show them who's boss from zero to hero. Turn every line to gold, they ain't keeping it real though. I'll elevate the game while they stuck in a glitch. Watch me rise to the top, counting every pitch. Crack code like I cracked the streets. From back alleys to Silicon Elite. You thought you knew, but you don't know yet. I'll bring the heat, ain't seen nothing yet. King of the code, I wear the crown. Gonna run this game, run them all down. From the concrete to the tech throne, I'll dominate this world, gonna make it my own.
Thank you so much, Costa. I appreciate it. I really appreciate you. Hey, look. Like your car said, now you know how the strippers feel. We had the lights going. I had to put the music on. It is what it is. We got the AI songs rolling. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Your car says, why the Tech Pookie song didn't sound like this? It was a different model, your car. It was a different model. Like we got the real deal now. We got the. I'm gonna remake the song just for your car. I'm gonna remake the Tech Pookie song just for you. All right. It was also probably because of my bad prompting as well, but let's not talk about that. All right. All right. So let's get the lights make it go hard. Let's get to our next question because, all right, I have a mandate from Acosta to let's continue our tech game, our tech talk. So let's get it. Let's get to our next question, and then we'll take a look at the chat because we got a mandate. All right. Let's get to it.
Another one.
I'm struggling to give accurate estimates. All right. So, struggling with giving timing to stakeholders. I work in a small company around 15 people. I'm quite new to this role, but I am a mix of a project manager and a scrum master. Ooh, that's a tough role to be in. I'm looking for any advice when it comes to giving timing on issues/projects we are working on. We run 2-week sprints, typical, okay. My manager is very hot on doing weekly releases. I think they might have used the term hot in the wrong context here because when I heard my manager is very hot, I was like, what the? Not what you should be saying about your manager, right? But they said so they're pretty much saying the manager is very, critical about releasing every 2 weeks. So fair enough. Our backlog is up to date with story points. So at the start of the sprint, I tend to go through the backlog and plan the next sprint on priorities I am given by the company. Then at the sprint meeting, go through it with the team and confirm the work for the sprint going ahead. I feel like this works for the most part, but what I struggle with is giving a good idea of when the issue is going to go live. I organize the issue in Jira, so it's clear which work needs to be done first, but sometimes that is held up if the work fails due to a pull request review or quality assurance. How do other people deal with timings and roadmaps? Or do I just need to start allowing for more time on issues, get more help from my manager of business deadlines? Thank you for any suggestions. All right. That is a great question. All right. We are going to, I'm going to start this clock on this one. I love this question. And I learned this answer. This is not an answer of my own, but I'm going to be sharing it with you. I got this answer from Robert C. Martin, aka Uncle Bob, has been in software development since 1960s, right? So I learned a lot from him. I have a couple of his books here. I have The Clean Coder, How to Instill Professionalism in the Software Development Industry, as well as Clean Code. I have some more of his books I need to get as well. But I love that guy, right? So here's, and by the way, he responded to one of my tweets one time, but let's not talk about that. All right, so the answer to your question is you need to have a estimation strategy of giving the worst case scenario answer, the best case scenario answer, and what's the most likely outcome, right? Because like you said, you don't know what's going to happen with the pull request or with quality assurance. And you need to communicate with your software engineers and your QA team, with your development team. It's not really your job to estimate how long development is going to take. It is your job to get the estimates from the software developers, and then you will convey that to the rest of the team. But you need to put your software engineers, your development team on game of how to provide accurate estimates. Maybe a good Christmas present is the book, The Clean Coder by Robert C. Martin, so that they can have an idea of how to properly estimate, how to, that's a very valuable part of the book. providing these estimations, because one of the worst things, kind of like what we spoke about yesterday about being consistent and nobody trusting you when you're inconsistent, is when you can't take the word of a software development team or a software engineer seriously. So then you just start taking what they say, and then you either add more time to it or you reduce time from it, or you try to tell them, if they tell you that, okay, it's going to take the worst case scenario, it's going to take 4 weeks. The best case scenario is it gets done in 1 week. The most likely is going to be done in 2 weeks, right? Now you can't just say, okay, it's going to be done in a week and a half. You need to take that information, and now you have that range so that you can set the right expectations. So that is how you can actually deal with these estimations, but you have to work with your team to do that. And in order to properly get these estimations, your software engineers have to have confidence in what they're talking about, and and you have to take them seriously. So they have to also build consistency, because in the book, here's an example that they gave. If the legal team, or if the lawyer team, if the lawyer said XYZ, then people are going to take it as gospel as XYZ. But when the software engineers say, oh, it's going to be 2 weeks, then it's like, well, no, you have to get it done in a week. We need more professionalism in the industry so that people can trust what we're saying. And one way to start that is with giving accurate estimations. So if you say that the worst case scenario is that it's going to be done in like 4 weeks, with reasons to back it up, why, like what are the risks and the challenges that you're going to face. The best case scenario is if everything goes well, there's no hiccups, and then like the most likely scenario, like right in the middle, what's like the 90% chance of happening. So let's say it's a 5% chance of the best case scenario, a 5% chance of the worst case scenario, and a 90% chance of what's in the middle. You still have to present the best, the worst, and the most likely. That way you level set expectations, and if it gets done early, great. If it gets done, if it gets done within like the worst case scenario, then it gets done within the worst case scenario. And then you also have to hold your team accountable for delivering, and that's why we have these different estimation levels. So that, in my opinion, is a way that it's going to help you and strengthen you with your timelines. Also, as far as your release cycle from that your manager is like hot about, I guess it depends on what type of software you're doing. Hold on one second. Almost had an intruder over here. All right. They're gone. All right, cool. All right, let's continue on with the show. Let me wrap this question up. All right, let's see what the chat is saying. Mitch says, I know somebody better send me my money. All right, you know what, Mitch, I have an idea for you. If you call in, I didn't even put the call-in link tonight. I didn't even put the call-in. Let me turn on the call-in link in case anybody wants to call in. I didn't even think about that. Let me see. Mitch, why don't you call in, Mitch? Why don't you call in? If you call in, Mitch, I will send you your money. I'll send you your money. We'll even play the ODB song, I got your money, all right? The call-in link is open. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat in case anybody wants to call in and have a conversation. All right, let's see. Let's see. Where are we at? Let me see. Where are we at? All right. There we go. All right. So I lost word. All right. So, yeah, guys, I'm ready for a Moscow Mule and a caricature board. I know the word. I just don't know how to say it. All right. Since I don't click on random links, it's not random. You want me to? You want me to click on it? Your car? I'll click on it. Hold on. Let's see. Let me see what Don has over here. Oh goodness gracious. Okay, all right. You're gonna like this. Let's take a look at this real quick. Let's go to your car AI pricing plans. Detect if someone gives a damn with our state-of-the-art AI. Meh plan for those who barely care. $9.99. Detect basic eye rolls. Identify shoulder shrugs. Spot half-hearted nods. Recognize fake smiles. Whatever plan for the professionally indifferent. $19.99 a month. All Med Plan features. So all of it, you get all of these. Detect sarcastic tones. Identify passive-aggressive sighs. Spot subtle clock watching, just like that. And it says recognize autopilot responses. And lastly, 0 dams given. For the truly apathetic, you get all the plan, everything that's included in whatever plan and in the med plan. Detect microscopic levels of interest, okay. Identify quantum states of caring. Spot care particles in parallel universes. Recognize caring in alternative timelines. And 24/7 support. We actually give a damn. So you got your landing page. You got your landing page for your pricing plan. All right. All right. So let's go back over here. I trust Don. He sends me some weird stuff sometimes, but I trust him. All right. Ralph clicks on me. I do. And he says, pause. Let's see. We're clicking links. Let's say, let me see. Consistency is key. That's a fact. That is a fact. So let me see. We got Love in the building. What's going on, Love? How are you doing tonight? How are you doing? Just added the Clean Coder to my Audible list. That is awesome. It's a great book. It is a great book. One line should do one thing. That is the key. Yup. Like having very small, like that is part of the clean code. Having like very small and concise methods that do one thing. What do they call it? The principle of single something. Says this is. That's a good point. This is what y'all get for making fun of me and my dog. Those dogs were loud. Who let the dogs out of your car? Oh my goodness. Call in Mitch. Says tech people are introverts. That is true. It says, come on now, you sound weird. Your car says, I agree. I will agree with my tech friends are as weird as my artist friends. That is hilarious. I don't remember how to. Yukari, I might need you to give me the phonetics on that one. But I do know what it is because I have my friend Robert who does jiu-jitsu. He's always saying it. It's like caricature or something like that. I forgot how to say it. I should call him up and find out how to say it. It says, I'm definitely not weird. Put the spotlight. Mitch, I already played a song. I can't play your song right now, Mitch. I cannot play your song right now. I already played a song, all right? We go live in 10 days. That means you care and you don't care. Let's see. Oh, my single concern separation. Yeah, it's what? I'll look it up real quick. It is single response principle. The single response principle states a class should have only one reason to change. In simpler terms, every class should only have one responsibility or job. You had one job. The principle is crucial because it promotes a separation of concerns, making the system easier to understand, maintain, and evolve. Yep, single concern, separation of concerns. Yep, perfect. Thank you so much, Don. And we got my guy Magnetar in the building. What's up, Magnetar? How are you doing? How is your day going? Hopefully you are doing well. And Mitch is happy. He's like, I got reinforcements in the building.
Let's get it.
You know, Magnetar and Mitch be trying to tag team on me, and I'd be like, nope, not happening. You guys are. I am still undefeated.
Ain't believing us.
You had one job. Famous last word. Oh my God. Single responsible. You had one. That's what it is. You had one job. All right. Let's continue on with the show. The link is open in case anybody wants to call in. We can have a conversation about whatever you want to talk about. All right. All right. So let's get to our next question of the night.
Another one.
The best way to go from manual testing to QA automation. They said QA, but to QA automation, I'm guessing. So I've been in my current role for almost 3 years now doing manual testing for a big product. However, I've been interested in pivoting to a proper QA role that involves automation. I'm seeing conflicting advice on QA boot camps. They must have watched my video. Oh my God, what is going on? But not really a solid roadmap on how to get into a QA role besides that. What are my best options at the moment with 3 years of manual testing experience and pivoting into automation QA? Would it still be worth it to drop a few grand on a QA boot camp?
Do not come.
I'm just being honest.
All right, let's start the clock. So here's the dealio. Is it worth a few grand to pay a boot camp to teach you what a Udemy course is going to teach you for like $15, $20? Even if you get it at full price, like $120? Absolutely not. It is not worth it. Now, why is there not a solid roadmap on how to get into a QA role, a QA automation role? Is because there's not really a solid roadmap to do that. You could check on roadmap.sh to see if they have, let's check roadmap.sh real quick, right? Roadmap.sh. Let's take a look at that. Let's even see if they have QA on there, right? Let's take a look. So roadmap.sh. Let's see. There's QA right here. Let's take a look at QA. They're starting to add projects on roadmap. Let me take another. Let me look at. Let's take a look at backend. Oh, that's cool. They have projects on there now. That's pretty cool. This is pretty cool actually. Roadmap.sh, where they have different stuff that you can build. That's pretty cool. I must say. I must say that is pretty cool. But if we look at QA, and they say for quality assurance, so this would be a decent roadmap. They have, all right, so what is quality? Testing oracles, test prioritization, project management, managing your tests, all the tools that we talk about here. Functional testing, all the different types of testing where like, they're not gonna really ask you about these type of testing nowadays, but you still need to know them. Non-functional testing, we've done load testing, performance testing. Don, you remember the Ralph load testing tool that you built? And then we go into the V model and the waterfall model, which is your car's favorite waterfall. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Stick to the Agile, the Kanban and the Scrum that you used to. Remember that, right? So Agile, and then they go into test-driven development, manual testing, back end automation, front end automation. So if you've been in QA, for the past 3-ish years, then you're probably familiar with a lot of these things over here, right? You're probably familiar with a lot of these things. I would say you want to start off with these in parallel, right? Back end automation and front end automation. I would start off with Playwright. I used to say Selenium, but I would probably start off with Playwright, or both of them. I've done both of them on this channel. Because with Playwright though, you can do the back end as well as the front end. See it right here, Playwright. And you definitely want to learn Selenium as well because that is still the most popular automation framework. But dropping a few grand on it, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it, especially if you're already in QA. I would say follow this roadmap.sh, and I would say follow this channel, and I would say get a if you don't know how to code yet, get a boot camp, not a boot camp, but get a Udemy course where they'll teach you the basic that you need to learn how to code in order to do automation. But the most important thing is learning how to do the automation. And then my biggest advice, I'm gonna go back to full screen. My biggest advice, especially for somebody who's already working in QA, right, is to build experience by automating the projects that you work on at work. What you work on at work, automate that. And then you help yourself by starting to alleviate some of the manual testing, regression testing that you normally do, whether you're going to be automating the back end or the front end with either rest assured, Postman, not really for automation, with Playwright, whatever, right? And then automating the website with Playwright or Selenium, Cypress, whatever. But that's what's most important. And then now you can, if your company doesn't have automation already, you can introduce it to them. If they do, when you're speaking to your manager, you say, "Oh, I took the initiative to start learning automation. Look what I can do. This has helped me to get my work done faster, to make sure that I'm testing more things." Very, very but that's the biggest key, right? So you start learning, and if you are working in a company, that's why I tell everybody, if you're already working in a company, try to grow within that company to get your foot in the door. And then once you actually, get a couple of years at the company doing the role that you want to do, now you go and you get that raise by jumping to another company because it's going to be hard for you to get it within the company. But now you have the experience. The hardest thing is that you don't have the experience. Get the experience from within the company that you are working if you have the ability to do that. If you're in QA, working as manual QA, start automating your stuff that you test, right? In your spare time, or not even in your spare time. If you have to come to work 2 hours early or you have to leave work 2 hours late, put in the time to automate that because that's the best experience. People are always saying, "Oh, I don't know, I don't have experience. Get the experience doing that. And the very basic stuff that you learn in any of these courses, right? Start applying it on day one. Of your learning it, start implementing your automation for your work, right? And that way, you're going to be proving to your boss that you're more than capable of doing it because you're already doing it, right? Keep that in mind, and you should be good that way. Let's wrap that question up. All right, let's see what we got going on in the chat. Let's see. Don says, "I will write the most overloaded method ever and send it to you." You remember that chaos camp challenge that you had where the over engineering chaos camp challenge? That was a good one. I like that one. Oh my goodness, what's going on over here? We got Darcel in the building. What's up, Darcel? How are you doing tonight? Hopefully you are doing well up there in the ATL. Shout out to my guy, Darcel. Let's see. It says, capital punishment. It says, we got Alexander in the building. What's going on, Alexander? What's going on with you? Hopefully you're doing well. Let's see. All right. Let's continue on with the show. We're doing well. Good on time. I have about 3 questions left, but remember the link is in the description. It is pinned to the top of the chat, and I'm just going to drop it in here again real quick in case anybody wants to call in. If they have a question, I am more than happy to answer your questions. All right. But with that being said, let's get over to the next question of the night. Let's get to it.
Another one.
simple guidelines for learning automation. Well, I guess we're gonna be sticking on the automation topic for a little bit, aren't we? So it says, let me see. It says, please guide for automation. I'm a manual tester of 3.5 years. So the other person was about 3 years. This person is 3.5 years. I have zero, zilch, nada knowledge or experience in a coding language. But I want to change my career, and I guess I do. You sound really, really excited about that. I guess automation testing is the only good option for now. Oh, that sounds depressive. All right, okay, well, let's keep going. But I'm really confused which language and tool to pick. I hear many people saying many things, but according to the market, which can I do? Is it Python? Is it Java or C# or JavaScript, Selenium or Cucumber or Playwright or Cypress or Postman or Appium, or learn JMeter first? I don't know. This is driving me crazy and I can't decide. Can someone please guide me and help me to choose which is needed and the best? I also need resources for them to learn from basics to advanced. Thank you so much. All right, let's start the clock. All right, so guess what? I have to tell you the truth. It doesn't matter what you think. It really doesn't matter which one you learn, right? Just pick one. Because learning automation, it's not about learning a particular language. You can easily pivot to any other language. Not easy is an understatement, right? But I might be exaggerating when I say easy, but when I was learning Python, it was somewhat easy to transfer over my knowledge of Java to understand like how to code in Python. And now I'm pretty decent coder in Python. Learning automation is more about learning the coding concept of like object-oriented programming, the page object model, things of that nature. Instead of like, oh, I have to focus on this particular language. Oh, I have to like, if you don't know any coding language, it doesn't really matter which one you learn, right? You can go ahead and like, I would probably say go ahead and learn Python, because Python is probably one of the easiest languages to learn. And whether like if it's Selenium or Playwright, it's not that big of a deal, right? Playwright is the new tool, is the new toy out there, so Playwright would be fine to learn. Selenium is still the most popular automation framework in the world, right? So pick your poison. Doesn't really matter. I would not learn, because Cucumber, like, see, and this is the part of where people do not do their proper due diligence, their proper research. Cucumber is a library or a package that goes within Java, because that's how you can use Cucumber to do behavior-driven development. Appium I think Appium works with a few different languages, but Appium, it's still based on Selenium. Got to do, or do I learn JMeter first? Well, is your goal to be performance, to be a performance tester, or to do automation? Right. So it is very important that people do their due diligence instead, like before they just spew out a question. Like, all right, what is JMeter used for? What is Playwright? What is Cypress? What is Postman? Like and if you're going to be learning automation, you're also going to have to learn how to do API automation. Whether you're using Python, using the request library, whether you're using Rest Assured for Java, whether you're going to be doing in JavaScript, you're going to be using Supertest and the other libraries and packages in JavaScript. So what I suggest is pick something. Just start. What I always like, people, they have analysis paralysis, right? Analysis paralysis. And they can't like, they just, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? And then they do like, they'll start 5 different courses in 5 different days, and they'll do the first 2 sections of each course, and then they switch to the next one. They switch to the next one. They switch to the next. You know, you ever heard of job hoppers? They are course hoppers. Yeah, that you heard it. You heard it here first. They are course hoppers. They be jumping around from course to course, boot camp to boot camp. I'm telling you, I've seen people who they said, I'm in like I just finished a boot camp for QA. I'm gonna be the best QA who ever walked the earth. And that'll be on Monday, right? And then the following Monday, their LinkedIn profile is updated. It says, I'm gonna be the best tech sales to ever walk the earth. And then, not even a week later, by that Friday, I'm gonna be the best data analyst, better than Mitch to ever walk the earth.
Bruh.
They're boot camp and course hoppers. So I always say you got to get started, right? If you just pick Python, right? Just say, you know what? Do a Russian roulette. Say Python and Selenium, Python and Playwright, and let me get something automated. Let me figure out the principles of automation. Let me automate something. Let me start with the very, very basic. Go and automate, like, what do you like? If you like sports, go and automate going to the ESPN site to pull up your favorite team's score. Like, so if you're Mitch, you're trying to learn automation, right? Go and pull up the Lakers games, and so you can see your favorite player, LeBron James, see how he did tonight, him and Bronny. See how did they do, right? So just automate something, and then you build off of that. Then you make it better and better and better, and then you start getting more ideas, and now you become an actual automation tester. But it also seems like you're not really sold on it. You don't really want to do it. It seems like you feel like you have no choice. You feel like you're trapped. But do what you want. You can do what you want. All right. With that being said, I'm gonna wrap that one up. Alrighty then, let's see what else we got going on over here. Magnetar says, I was told about a week ago by my union rep that I may be permanently doing the job I was promoted from alongside the job I was promoted to. That's your tax dollars being consolidated. Well, thank you, Magnetar. We appreciate your service. We appreciate your service out here. He's like, the union rep said, you know what? I mean, isn't the union rep supposed to protect you guys from that? But they said, you're going to be doing two jobs, the job that you were doing and the job we paid you more money to do now. And are the union reps supposed to be helping you out? It's like, they're like, well, like being notified? Like, it's like, no, union rep, aren't you supposed to say, no, this is not going to happen to my guy Magnetar? I don't know. I've never been in a union, so I really can't say. But you better thank a union member. My nighttime minutes. Remember back in the days, at 9 p.m. and on weekends you would have unlimited minutes. Everybody would be waiting till 9 o'clock to make their phone calls, and then all the lines would be jammed because, and then you'd be on the phone for like 3 or 4 hours talking to some person. All right. Let's continue on with the show for tonight. All right. Let's go over to the next one.
Another one.
Is there a drag and drop QA tool? What? So I'm a techie from an early stage startup, and like most startups, we're navigating the usual constraints, tight budgets, lean teams, and ambitious timelines. One area we've been grappling with is QA and testing. I should reach out to them for one of my QA people in there. It has become quite the pain, but building a dedicated QA team or investing in expensive tools isn't feasible for us right now. So, real quick, they want a drag and drop QA tool that is not expensive and actually works good. You can't have all three. You can barely have one. All right. Honestly, you can barely have one. So I've been exploring no code tools. Well, that's a fail. I've been exploring no code tools for automation recently. The idea is pretty exciting. Being able to automate test cases, integrate with CI/CD pipelines, and streamline workflows without writing code could save so much time and effort. I'm curious, how are others here solving this? Any kind of help is appreciated. All right, so let's start the clock on this one. So here's the deal. When it comes to no code tools, my number one thought and idea is
Do not come.
I do not like no code whatsoever when it comes to QA, when it comes to almost most things that, like, if it's going to be a core part of your software development processes, I am not a fan of no code tools. Why is that? Well, that is because you become handcuffed, you become held hostage. They take you to a you-know-who party and they lock the doors from the inside and you cannot get out. And that's why I'm not a big fan of no-code tools, because I've used them in the past, and then when you have to try to migrate, it is a nightmare. What I would suggest is, number one, if you are a startup, right, and you're pressed for funds, you know, the dollar bills are low, I would say that you should hire one elite, maybe a lead QA engineer who can automate using using code, implementing it within your CI/CD pipeline. But they know what they're doing, and they're not like, they're not a fresher, they're not a noob. And they can implement it that way, because you want your code to be portable, especially for QA tools. You do not want to be locked into QA tools. There are a lot of companies out there who offer these low code solutions, where you can pretty much they have their own. And here's my biggest pet peeve with this, right? They offer their own solution, but using their own solution, as Suge Knight said, if you don't want a QA software being all up in your company, being all up in your business, being all up in your CI/CD pipeline, being all up in your code, then you're going to have to build it yourself, right? And have an experienced QA engineers to start building out the QA team and the QA processes and start automating it and start integrating it. And that way, let's say you want to go to a different, like, let's say the underlying framework, you want to switch it out to something else. What if you want to, what if there's some features that low code, no code tool can't provide you? These type of decisions should be made by the lead QA engineer, the staff QA engineer. For a startup company that doesn't have that much money, invest in quality, right? Because what a lot of companies, the biggest mistake a lot of companies make is that they invest in the best software engineers, that's not the mistake, but they do not invest in quality. I remember, so what I try to do is, to the people that I'm coaching, I would try to find different opportunities for them so that they can plug in with, maybe a startup, maybe a software engineer who's building something. And, I'm like, all right, you need to get some software testing and stuff like that, right? Now, I remember I was in the Slack group, right? And this person's like looking for software engineers. I was like, hey, do you have any software testers? And he's like, oh no, but we're not really interested in software testers. We're just trying to get the product out. I was like, what the? I was like, man, you know what? And this is why companies fail. And this is why your software is going to be all, like my best friend would say, is going to be trash.
Congratulations, you played yourself. Because
you guys don't take the quality of your software seriously. So that's why I would say invest, like, for a startup, if you're trying to get things out there fast, you need to get a good comprehensive automation suite. And doing that through like one of the people that I'm coaching, right? They're using the software Catalan, which Catalan is pretty good because it's a good hybrid where it has a recorder. it can automate a bunch of different things, but it's still, you still get kind of handcuffed to it if you go with that solution. So we're working our way through that, but it still has its issues. And I, for one, I do not like to be held hostage. I just don't like to be held hostage. I don't like when people put a gun to my head. Nope. Don't do it. Don't test me. Don't test me. All right. So that's why I'm like, you should go away from these drag and drop type things, because the underlying code is trash. And now when you have to go to something better, when you have to do it the real way, you end up saying,
I'm a knucklehead at times.
And I don't want you to say that, all right? I do not want you to be a knucklehead ever. Not at times, but ever, all right? Let's wrap that question up. All right, let's see what we got going on in the Chizat. Magnus says, I mean, some people said we don't work, so let me get this off the screen. It says, people say we don't work, so this is pretty much what disapproved their staff. Oh my God. That is funny though. That is funny, Magnetar. And I wouldn't say that some people say that you see, you're saying we. See, I think you work, but I think a lot of your friends might not work. And I'm just kidding, Magnetar. I'm just having fun with you. Yakar says, no manual testers. Low code is a good thing. Definitely startup that's going to fail. And your car has a special message for you. He says,
I was gonna lie to you, but I had to tell the truth. I'm just being honest.
Your car just being honest. He is just being honest. All right. Do me a favor as we get to our last question of the night. If you haven't done so already, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content, because we are having so much fun today. We're actually gonna get through all of our 8 questions. And we even had a chance to drop the beat. You know what? Because Mitch was asking for the spotlight to be on him. If we finish this question in a good amount of time, we might even get a chance to jam out to Mitch is for the people, the people's champ. So we got to get through this question though. We got to get through this question in order to jam out to my guy song Mitch. All right. So let's get to the last question. The last question of the night is
another one.
How to prevent knowledge silos. So how do you prevent knowledge silos? Imagine this. It's Monday morning. Your payment system needs a critical update, and suddenly you get a message. Your back-end guru who handles all the payment things was rushed to the hospital with a serious health condition and will be out. The entire team freezes. No one else knows the deployment process. Customers are waiting. Management is asking questions. I've been thinking about this scenario my whole entire life, from the womb to the tomb, and wrote about knowledge silos here at scrumstacks.com, which I'll check that out. But I'm curious, how do you prevent this in your team? All right, so it says, we would love to hear your strategies and war stories. Whew, I think that this is the biggest challenge for all teams, because, and I'm definitely gonna check. I'm gonna check out the Scrum Stacks article, and then we're gonna talk about it probably on Sunday, maybe Thursday if I get to it in time. But it is the biggest challenge because you can plan for when people are going on vacation, if they get sick for a day or two and stuff like that. But if someone gets, they get an unexpected, car accident, they have like some health scare that they're going to be out for. Sometimes it might be a family member who gets sick that they have to be away from. They have to be away from the team. And it's like, oh, wow, like I expected this person to be here today and now they're not. So that's a tough one. I would say though, which is still hard to do, but the team has to be in constant communication. They need to be constantly sharing knowledge. One thing that we do, and maybe we can even do it better at the team that I work on, is at least from a testing perspective, I always do the test plans with the I always do the test plans when I write the test plans, and I review it with the software engineers so that they can see what I'm going to be testing for. I can have an idea of what they're going to be working on. But another thing that helps with the knowledge silos is the code reviews, the pull requests, where different software engineers they are giving feedback on the code and understanding the implementation details. Another thing that we do is like during and this is why the Scrum ceremonies are so important. Our sprint reviews, our refinements, our retrospectives, especially in refinement though, especially in refinement, we get to go through the stories, the person who wrote the story, the person who's like, detailing it all out. When we're in planning, we go through together and we do the exercise of understanding what the subtasks are for the story that we're going to be working on, so that we can all be on the same page. Does it prevent knowledge silos 100%? Absolutely not. They still happen, especially if like you have one lead engineer who is driving a project. It's hard to like have all the context, but if driving a project is different than implementing the project. So like in our case, we have one person who might be driving planning out the project and stuff like that, but everybody, all the developers actually get to implement some part of it. And so now if let's say, God forbid, one of the most knowledgeable software engineer gets sick or whatever, another person can come in and know there's going to be some growing pains, but it's not like they're totally in the dark, totally in the loop. Another thing is having good comments in your code. One way that I like to code, which I'm going to make a video up soon, maybe next week, I don't know yet, about like one way that I learn how to code easier, a trick that I use to learn how to code easier. I'll probably make a video for that. Hopefully next week, I'll see, right? But it's about like the way that you write your code has to be very, very legible. When I write code, I have long method names and I'm pretty much writing out what I'm thinking, right? So it's like add two numbers together would be a method name, and then the parameters number 1, number 2, so I think writing clean code, the book Clean Code, like really helps with knowledge silos. Clean Coder also helps with knowledge silos. Having meetings, having like, and I think you can pair program. That's another way of helping with that. So there's different strategies. There's nothing like, there's no one way, there's no perfect way. You're always going to struggle with it because, for instance, with me, I'm the only Q engineer on the sub team that I'm on, right? Where there's 2 of us in our overall team. But I would be lying if I said that I knew exactly what the other software Q engineer is doing on their side of the team. Could I pick it up if the other engineers can bring me up to speed? Like the other software engineers can bring me up to speed, but I don't know all the little intricacies that that my counterpart, the Q engineer, is doing, the same way that he doesn't know all the things that I'm doing on my team, because we're working on building 2 different things, right? Under the same umbrella, but 2 different things, under the same repository, but it's 2 different things. So knowledge, like silos, they happen, but there are some ways around it. Good documentation definitely helps. Yeah, I mean, having regular meetings, but meetings, they only work to a certain extent, because if you're not actually getting your hand dirty, it's not really gonna help. It's not really gonna work out too well, right? So that's my thoughts on it. I'm gonna read the Scrum Stack article about dealing with that, because I'm curious to see what your strategy is, and then we'll review that on either Thursday or Sunday, and we'll go from there, right? So that is it for tonight. Those are all of our questions. So let's wrap that one up with a nice little bow on top. Alrighty then. All right, let's check the chat and then we'll get up and out of here. Let's see. Where are we? All right, cool. So we do not have anything new in the chat. So perfect. So we are in that case, And that, you know what that means. Oh, so your car, I'll tell you this right now. So they hit me back and said that he has it on his roadmap to do integration with some home assistants, but they're going to share. And they actually asked, who's your car? You know, let me just respond right now. Your car is the best moderator in the world. Right? Cool. So now they know who you are, your car. They should have known, but they don't. So now they do. Right? Anyways, as I promised, let me see. So Magnetar says, do you absolutely have to know how to code to learn networking? No. To learn networking, no. You do not need to know how to code. For networking in particular, because when I went to school for network engineering, and it's not as much coding. You need to know how to like configure routers, how to do subnets. You might need to know how to do it's not that you do need to know how to create your own Ethernet cables, right? You need to know how to create your own Ethernet cables because the lengths can vary, right? So you're not going to be able to buy like 100 feet Ethernet cable. You're going to have to hardwire in some instances. Wi-Fi is going to work, but if you're doing it for a company, they're going to want hard wires available. But subnets is going to be a big thing to segment off the network traffic, who can access what. You're probably going to need to learn more about firewalls. And then if you're going to be networking in the cloud, like on Amazon Web Services or Google Cloud Platform, you're probably going to have to end up learning about virtual private networks. You're probably going to have to learn about load balancing, things of that nature, security groups, stuff like that. So it's not like you don't need to learn code in particular. One type of code that you might want to learn in the future, like after you get down the networking stuff, is to, like, if you're going to be working in the cloud, it would be like infrastructure as code, like Terraform, or what is the one that AWS has? I forgot the name of them. CloudFormation. That is the one that they have for AWS, and they probably have their own version for Google and Microsoft Azure. So you might want to look into some code for that, but for the most part, you do not need to learn like Python and all that type of stuff for it. And your car says elastic containers. Yeah, you could. I mean, I don't. Yeah, you might need to learn some of that, and you might need to learn a little bit of Linux as well, because you need to configure those networks. So those are all the different things to consider. But to be a top-notch coder, it's not really necessary for networking. Will it help? Definitely, it'll help, but it's not a requirement, you know. So that is it. All right. Mitch is saying, all right, where the hell is my damn music? All right, so Mitch, I am going to, as we wrap up the show, I'm gonna play your song right now. I am gonna play your song right now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's play Mitch's song, and then we're gonna wrap up the show. Right? We're gonna play Mitch's song, and then we're gonna wrap up the show. And I am not going to play Catch the. Oh my God, I can't do this. Oh my God, let's stop the show. I can't do this. I can't do this. All right, so Acosta does not want to hear Mitch's song. Right? So one more shout out to you. I really appreciate you. For those wondering if there's money in tech, check out the last two super chats from me. Oh my God! Shout out to my guy. Shout out to my guy Acosta ETF. Go and check out his channel. He does some amazing stuff. Like, I saw some older videos that he was doing. Like, he's changing out, I think, hard drives on an old Dell laptop. It's working in Linux.
The sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
But yeah, working on Linux, just different tech stuff. And he also coaches and mentors and all that type of stuff, doing a great work for the community. So shout out to my guy.
I appreciate you.
I'm telling you. You better send me and your car haircut. The check is in the mail. All right. All right. We're we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up. I can't do this anymore. I cannot do this. I've been blessed way too much tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in because I gotta go. I have this crazy kid who's trying to tear down the wall and get on the stream, so maybe soon, once he can start coding in Python in about 2 years, he'll probably be sitting right next to me streaming with me. All right. We shall see. I gotta turn the reins over to him. All right. But after all these questions answered, after all this fun, after we dropped the King of the Code song right in the middle of the stream, did you guys have fun? Did you have fun? Did you have fun?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
I had a great time. Mitch, I might have to play the catchy dance. Remember, make the numbers dance? Acosta tried to make me dance. He tried to make me dance. So you know how it is. You know how it is. All right. But you guys know that yesterday's price is not today's price. Today's price is certainly not tomorrow's price because as Acosta told you, the price of the brick.
One more thing. Price of the brick going up.
The price of the brick is always going up. And with that being said, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I already wrapped up the show, but I gotta play the song because Mitch is for the people. Tonight, one night, I'm for the people as well. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Where is that song? There we go.
Mitch stands tall among the crowd, fighting hard and speaking loud. Dreams for them as they decay, wants to lead but they just stray. Mitch got heart, Mitch got plans, but they don't see where he stands. He keeps pushing, they keep falling. In his fight they see nothing. He's the guardian with the shield on this broken battlefield. With each turn they let him down, but he won't turn back around. Mitch got heart, Mitch got plans, but they don't see where he stands. He keeps pushing, they keep falling.
That's all you guys get tonight. All right? Because I gotta go. But remember, tomorrow morning we're gonna be going live, Coffee and Kata. We're gonna be going over some news stories, and remember as well, and we're gonna be going live on Thursday night. We have our software explorations tomorrow afternoon. We're going to be going over penetration testing. But I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to say one more thank you to the 3 major super chats from my guy Acosta. Says thank you for being an asset to the tech community. He also says, here's another distraction. Let's get this tech bag.
Money.
And lastly, for one more, shout out to you. I really appreciate you. For those wondering if there's any money in tech, check out the last 2 chats from me. We just checked out all 3 of them. Shout out to my guy Acosta out there. And check out his channel as well. Check out his channel. Really great information. Really appreciate him. So with that being said, we are going to get out. This is Tech Coach Ralph. We are out.
Tech Coach Ralph, tough as nails, no disguise. Pushing limits, yeah, he's that kind of guy. At first it's harsh, the rules feel like chains. But trust the process, there's sunshine in the rains. He cracks the whip, but it's all in love. Results shining bright like stars above. Tech Coach Ralph, you light the way. Through sweat and tears, you help us play. With every lesson, we find our might. From morning grind to the stars at Days turn to weeks, skills sharp and fast. What once was a struggle now feels like a blast. Step by step, we rise and we glow. With Ralph in our corner, we're ready to show. Singing his praises, can't keep it inside. From hard ass to hero, he's our pride. Tech Coach Ralph, you light the way. Through sweat and tears, you help us play. With every lesson, we find our might. From morning grind to the stars at night. So here's to Ralph, the coach we need in this game of growth. He plants the seed. So here's to Ralph, the coach we need in this game of growth. He plants the seed.
People come and people go, like shadows in the evening glow. Whispers here and there they go, empty promises they boast. Can't rely on fleeting whims, falling through the cracks again. Trust is something they don't know, always drifting with the flow. Flaky people break my stride, never know just where they hide. Think they're stars but they ain't bright, better fix it, get it right. Show up late and then they're gone, singing the same tired song. Never serious, never true, got no clue what they should do. Think the world revolves around them, but they ain't worth a single gem. Lost in their own hollow fame, playing such a tiresome game. Flaky people break my stride, never know just where they hide. Think they're stars but they ain't bright, better fix it, get it right. Fix it, get it right. Better fix it, get it right. We just show up and grind all day, only results matter anyway. I'm straight for no time to play, block out the noise, let nothing sway. We don't care what others pursue, our focus sharp, our goals so true. Their distractions ain't got a clue, we just win, that's what we do. Turn it up on the victory ride, we got heart and we got pride. Let the doubters run and hide, we're the force they can't deny. Keep your eyes on the finish line, no looking back, no wasting time. We climb the race, we shine and shine, successes draw like a fine line. Turn it up on the victory ride, we got heart and we got pride. Let the doubters run and hide, we're the force they can't deny. Keep your eyes on on the finish line. No looking back, no wasted time. We climb the ranks, we shine and shine. Success is drawn like a fine line. Turn it up on the victory ride. We got heart and we got pride. Let the doubters run and hide. We're the force they can't deny. Step by step we reach the top. We'll keep going, we won't stop. Watch us rise, see jaws drop. When we win, we own the lot. We don't care what others pursue. Our focus sharp, our goals so true. Their distractions ain't got a clue. We just win, that's what we do. Turn it up on the victory ride. We got heart and we got pride. Let the doubters run and hide. We're the force they can't deny. Keep your eyes on the finish line. No looking back, no wasting time. We climb the ranks, we shine and shine. Success is drawn like a fine line. Keep your eyes on the finish line. No looking back, no wasting time. We climb the ranks, we shine and shine. Success is drawn like a fine line. Step by step we reach the top. We'll keep going, we won't stop. Watch us rise, see jaws drop. When we win, we own the lot. Step by step we reach the top. We'll keep going, we won't stop. Watch us rise, see jaws drop. When we win, we own the lot. Step by step we reach the top. We'll keep going, we won't stop. Watch us rise, see jaws drop. When we win, we own the lot. Step by step we reach the top. We'll keep going, we won't stop. Watch us rise, see jaws drop. When we win, we own the lot.